All right, so have you ever felt that? You're in the changing room, maybe stepping onto the pitch, and boom, your heart is already just hammering against your ribs. The whistle hasn't even blown yet. What is going on with that?
Hey everyone, and welcome to Subject Simplified. Today, we're going to get right under the hood of one of the most incredible engines on the entire planet, your cardiovascular system. So if you're cramming for that BTech anatomy exam, don't sweat it. You are absolutely in the right place. We are going to break down everything, the key responses, the adaptations, all those crucial factors in a way that's actually simple and, easy to remember. So let's dive right in.
Okay, so first up, let's solve that mystery of the pregame jitters. That heart-pounding feeling. It's not just you being nervous. It's actually your body giving itself a biological head start.
This whole thing has a name, and it's called the anticipatory response. Basically, your brain knows what's about to go down, and it starts prepping the engine before you've even moved a muscle. Think of it like your body's own built-in, totally natural pre-workout. So how does this actually work? Well, your sympathetic nervous system, that's your fight-or-flight system, gets the signal that it is go time. It then floods your bloodstream with the hormone adrenaline, which basically taps your heart on the shoulder and says, hey, time to pick up the pace. This whole process gets that oxygen-rich blood primed and ready to fly to your muscles the second you need it.
Just picture a sprinter in the starting blocks, right? The crowd's silent, the gun's up, their heart is already absolutely racing. That is the anticipatory response in action. For them, that split-second explosion of power is everything. Their body just can't afford to wait for the gun to start pumping blood. It's got to be primed and ready. That racing heart, that's the engine revving, just waiting for the green light. So what happens when that light finally turns green and the action really begins?
All right, so the gun fires, the whistle blows, the game is on. What happens to your heart now that you're right in the thick of it? Okay, let's set a baseline. When you're at rest, maybe just chilling, sitting in class, your heart's just cruising along at a pretty relaxed 70 beats per minute, give or take. But then, during some really intense exercise, like a full-field sprint in a football match, that number just skyrockets. I mean, we're talking 180 beats per minute, maybe even higher. Your heart is working serious overtime to meet this new massive demand for oxygen.
Okay, now for a super crucial term for your exam, cardiac output. And listen, this isn't just about how fast your heart beats. It's about the total volume of blood it's managing to pump out every single minute. The formula is actually pretty simple. It's your heart rate multiplied by your stroke volume. And stroke volume is just the amount of blood pushed out with each beat. So naturally, during exercise, both of those numbers shoot way up, which means your cardiac output goes through the roof. This little table right here, this is your perfect revision summary. Seriously. At rest, everything's nice and chill, low and stable. But during exercise, your heart rate, your blood pressure, your cardiac output, they all skyrocket to fuel your performance. The whole system just kicks into high gear. Which brings up a good question. With all that extra blood pumping, where on earth does it all go?
Well, the thing is, your body has to get really smart about this. See, you only have a fixed amount of blood, right? So it has to make some tough choices about where to send it. It can't just go everywhere at once. This clever process is called the redirection of blood flow, or as I like to call it, the great blood shunt. And it's an absolutely amazing process. Your body pretty much ghosts your digestive system. No joke. The blood vessels leading to your stomach and other organs that aren't essential right now squeeze shut. That's called vasoconstriction. And at the exact same time, the vessels in your hardworking muscles open up wide. We call that vasodilation. It's just a brilliant, super efficient way to prioritize your resources. So that's what happens in a single exercise session. But what about when you train day after day, year after year? Well, your cardiovascular system doesn't just respond anymore. It adapts. It literally gets a permanent upgrade. Just look at the difference here. On the left, you've got a regular heart. On the right, an athlete's heart. And through all that training, the heart muscle itself, just like a bicep, gets bigger and stronger. The official term for this is cardiac hypertrophy. And a bigger, stronger heart pushes out way more blood with every single beat, which gives you a much higher stroke volume. Your heart has literally been hitting the gym.
All right, so here's a classic exam question, and it's one of those that kind of seems backwards at first. If a fast heart rate is so great for exercise, why do we always hear that elite athletes have a really, really slow resting heart rate? What's up with that?
And the answer is actually pretty simple and, well, elegant. It all comes back to that cardiac hypertrophy we were just talking about. The athlete's heart has become so incredibly efficient that it just doesn't need to beat as often when it's at rest. It pumps so much blood with each beat, that massive stroke volume, that it can take care of all the body's needs with way fewer contractions. It's the definition of working smarter, not harder. I mean, just to put this into perspective for you, an elite marathon runner might have a resting heart rate as low as 35 beats per minute. 35. That is less than half of what an average person's is. That is an absolutely incredible adaptation. And hey, the upgrades don't even stop there. With training, you also get increased capillarization, which is basically just your body building more tiny little roadways, blood vessels, to deliver oxygen more effectively to your muscles. It also helps lower your resting blood pressure, it speeds up your recovery time after a workout, and it can even increase your total blood volume. Yes, your body literally makes more blood, all to become a better endurance machine. Okay, so this system is obviously amazing, but let's be real, it's not invincible. So now we've got to cover the final critical piece you need to know for your exam, the external factors and risks that can put your cardiovascular system under some serious pressure. This stuff isn't just vital for your exam, it's vital for your health. We're going to touch on 3 key areas here: a really serious condition called SADS, general issues with blood pressure, and the huge impact that your body temperature can have. SADS, or sudden arrhythmic death syndrome, it's a tragic and a really important topic to understand. It's a group of genetic conditions that can mess with the heart's rhythm and can lead to cardiac arrest without any warning. And what's scary is that it often happens in young, apparently healthy, fit athletes. This really highlights why cardiac screening can be so incredibly vital in sports. Temperature is another thing that puts a massive amount of stress on the system. So let's say you get too hot. That's hyperthermia. Your blood vessels open up or dilate to send more blood to your skin to try and cool you down. But this makes your heart have to work extra hard. A perfect example? Think of someone running a desert marathon. Now on the flip side, when you're in extreme cold, that's hypothermia, your blood vessels do the opposite. They constrict to keep heat locked into your core, and your heart rate can slow down to some pretty dangerous levels, like a cross-country skier caught in a blizzard. Okay, we have covered a lot of ground, so let's boil it all down. If you're going to remember just a few things for your BTech exam, what are the 3 absolute key takeaways? Here it is, your official exam cheat sheet. Number 1, your body has immediate responses to exercise, like your heart rate shooting up and that great blood shunt. Number 2, over time, your body makes long-term adaptations, like cardiac hypertrophy, making the whole system more efficient. And number 3, external factors, things like temperature or hidden conditions, can put the whole system at risk. So just remember, responses, adaptations, and factors. Got it? And that's a wrap on the cardiovascular system. I really hope this breakdown helps you absolutely nail that exam. If you found this useful, please do us a huge favor and hit that like button and subscribe to Subject Simplified. We've got a ton more content coming your way to help you ace your course. Good luck with the revision. You've got this.